Have you ever wondered how to effectively give performance feedback to your team? My name's Katie. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this. It's not an easy thing to navigate, and I'm going to show you exactly how. You will learn how to give negative feedback in a way that they are going to feel so good and excited, which ultimately will increase team productivity. That's what it's all about, right? I first want to address what you're actively doing right now that could be setting your team up for failure and how to make a change. Then I'm sharing the second step of giving performance feedback that eliminates the finger pointing, the frustration with individual team members. Let's get started. The first one is powerful leaders create agreements, not expectations. This is so good. This one thing alone will solve so many problems inside of your organization. Agreements versus expectations. What is an expectation? It's when you have a very specific version of what done looks like, of what the outcome needs to be, do, have, done, completed by, and that has not been communicated, right? It's this hidden expectation that gets projected onto your team member. It doesn't get communicated and agreed to. So we first want to start by clearly communicating and creating agreements, not expectations. Have you ever told your 7-year-old to go clean their room, make their bed, and they say, "I did it," and then you go into the room and you're like, no, it's definitely not done. This is what I'm talking about. You have to communicate very clearly to that 7-year-old what it looks like to make a bed, what it looks like to put all of their toys on the shelf and to arrange their books and to hang up their clothes. You have to specifically show them step by step exactly what that looks like. And ultimately, you then can agree what a clean, done room looks like. The same is true with your team members. Like if you just say, go solve that problem, and then you come back and you're like, what did you do? You didn't do X and you did Y, and that looks stupid, and now we look dumb to our potential clients, right? If you're not clearly communicating and agreeing upon the outcome, then what happens on the backside is there's like finger pointing, blaming, and all kinds of frustration that honestly could have been avoided if we clearly communicate. What does that look like? You say to them, you work it out together, right? Co-creation. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that you first have to work this out with them. And you communicate to them what needs to happen and what that looks like. Then you say, what are you hearing me say? You have them repeat it back to you. And then when they repeat it back, you're like, oh, there's this gap and this gap. You can fill in those gaps, and you clarify and clearly communicate and ultimately agree on what the goal and objective is. Then once you've clearly communicated it back and forth, then you can say, cool, we have an agreement. You're gonna have X done by Wednesday at 5 p.m. and you will email John to let him know that it's all done, right? It's very clear, right? So the first step is to do that, create this agreement. And can we agree to something here? You are getting tremendous value. I'm seriously giving you such gold. So right now, I'm gonna make an invitation to you, and we're going to agree that you're gonna like and subscribe and follow this channel. I'm Katie Richardson. I'm a high performance business coach. I have tremendous experience and success both in my personal business, personal life, and in helping incredible entrepreneurs like you. So like and subscribe so you can continue to get tremendous value from all of my videos. Okay, step number 2, once you have created this agreement, then when something goes wrong, you point the finger at the agreement, not the other individual. Because listen, pointing the finger, blaming, it's just not powerful. It gets in the way, and it ultimately isn't going to help you get the outcome that you want, right? It just makes somebody feel bad about what they've done, when what needed to happen is clear communication and agreement on the front end. So what does this look like? I've got an incredible son. When he turned 16, he was originally driving the family minivan, and then mom got a BMW and was like, guess what? Wouldn't that be cool if he got to drive the BMW sometimes? And so I asked him, I said, look, I've created abundance in my life and I'm willing to share this with you. So would you be curious to hear what it would look like for you to have access to my car? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, of course. And I said, cool. So if you want to drive this car, it's going to require you to do some things. You have to stay really active in seminary. You have to get all of your homework done every day, and you've got to have your room clean and your bed made, and you even need to pay your portion of car insurance. And I literally typed it up for him, and I said, if you want access to this, we have to agree to these things. And here's the thing. If you break the law, you're speeding, or do anything that is against the law in this vehicle, then your access to this vehicle gets removed. And he said, cool, awesome. And so it was typed up because I wanted him to very clearly understand how he can live up to these standards to have access, right? So he agrees. We both sign this contract. He has a copy, I have a copy. We go about life and business. And for the most part, he does great. And when he's not in alignment with the agreement, I point it out, I help him, right? Remember to make your bed. Did you get your homework done before you go play with your friends? Whatever it is. And one day he comes home and he'd gotten a speeding ticket. He comes home, he hands it to my husband and is kind of like, oops, sorry, and hands it to my husband. And my husband's like, He hands it right back to him and he said, look, this might be a lot of money, but you've got to figure this out and you have to figure out how to pay this. And by the way, your access to the car is now removed, right? Because we had an agreement. And what's so cool is as a mother, I could actually have empathy for him and understanding of, man, that's really unfortunate that you were speeding and now you don't have access to the car. And I'm really sorry for you. And you can't drive the car for the next 3 weeks. And that was that. And there wasn't any of this, oh, what do I do? And is he going to be mad? There was none of that. It was, we had an agreement, you broke the agreement, and now the consequences are naturally playing out because we had this agreement. So can you see why having an agreement first and foremost and clearly communicating this agreement will then help you to be super effective on the back end. And then when the team member missed the deadline or wasn't performing, you can say, hey, quick question for you. I thought we had agreed that you would have it done Wednesday at 5. Looks like it's Thursday at 12. It's not done yet. Help me understand what's going on. Do you need more information? Is there somebody on the team that I need to connect you with? What can I do to support you in delivering on this agreement that we have? Do you want the details of my son's ticket? It was actually a really expensive ticket. It was like $900 because he was speeding. He was like going over 100, which is terrible on a country road, straight country road. He couldn't find the insurance, so he didn't have proof of insurance. I think there was one other thing that he was violating. So it was a $900 ticket. And what's super cool is he figured out actually how to get it down to, I think, $250. And he did. He ended up paying for it out of his pocket, but he used his creativity to kind of bring it down to a more affordable price. And I was actually pretty proud of him that he could figure out how to navigate these things. And ultimately, he was still accountable, still responsible, and within reason. And how about we take a second and I'm gonna give you some feedback. You've been doing this business all by yourself and you don't have to do it alone anymore. In fact, I'm here to help you. How can you take the first step in getting my help? You can download this free guidebook that I have personally put together for you. I know we've never met before, but listen, I know a lot that goes on in your world. As the founder, CEO, entrepreneur of a business, your life is really complex and you carry tremendous responsibility on your shoulders. And I'm here to help you with the mindsets, skill sets, and tool sets that you need to really thrive, to grow your business, to be present with your family, to have the health and strength and energy to do these things that you feel called to do. And it all starts with this free guidebook. So click the link below and download the guidebook now. I'm Katie Richardson and you are awesome.